Hello, my darlings, and welcome to episode 13 of the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. My name is Kate Grosvenor. I'm a perimenopause expert and life coach.
And I'm Gabriella Grosvenor, Kate's daughter, here to learn with you all.
How are you doing, my darling?
I'm okay.
How are you?
Doing?
I'm having a bit of a shit show today. I've got one of the most fabulous perimenopause symptoms, which is a frozen shoulder. So if I start whining and groping at my shoulder, I'm not being weird. I'm having one of those. It's frozen shoulder. You know very little about it. So if I'm being grumpy today,
is that actually a symptom? Like
it's awful.
Symptom?
Yeah, it's awful. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible one. So if I'm being grumpy, that's why. But I'm sure I'm going to be fabulously cheered up with a beautiful question from one of our fabulous listeners. So hit me with it.
I really like this question.
Okay.
It's been submitted actually by a few people.
Oh, cool.
Over the last couple of months.
Give me a good one.
A question. It's a topic that we need to discuss.
Okay.
And I really want to discuss this one. Perimenopause rage.
Oh, how apt. Because I'm in a bit of a funk myself today. And this is actually probably a good one because I think I can put some oomph into this one because I'm feeling a bit ragey myself. I had a bad night's sleep with this shoulder. Yeah. Okay. So anything in particular about rage or just what the hell?
I think and just how to control it. And
good luck.
that kind of thing.
Okay. So why the rage and what do we do kind of question? Oh, cool. Right. How long have we got? It's one of those, what do we... Because perimenopausal rage is a bit different from normal rage. You're quite a ragey human.
Oh, I am. And that's okay. I can
Is it?
That. Yeah, no, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
0 to 100 person. That's okay. There are many like me out there. Let's spread awareness, guys.
I think you do quite a good job on your own, actually.
I do. I don't know what I'm going to do. God bless my husband after I'm in the perimenopause too.
Okay. Maybe you need to chill out a little bit before you get there.
Exactly what you want to do. Just chill out.
I do say it to you a lot. Just, darling, it's not worth it.
It is worth it in here. It's worth it.
This is the. I was quite an aggressive little bunny rabbit back in the day because things used to just get under my collar and I'd just be like really like about them.
Exactly.
And then I think as you get older, you just like it's just not worth it.
Yeah, when you get older, you realise people are not worth disrupting your peace.
Yeah.
But they still come in to my space and disrupt my peace.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit hard to just...
I just don't care anymore. I just think that's a you problem.
Do you not suffer from perimenopause rage?
Me personally, very seldom. But I'm quite a zen person in general. I'm not that bothered about. My rage is less from other people. My disruption is more internal frustration. So, for example, today I've been more disrupted by this shoulder simply because it's extremely painful and I'm frustrated by it because I want to get things done and I can't get things done because my shoulder's being a banana and annoying me.
You have pain anyways most days, so that is frustrating.
Because I have the neuralgia thing and that's just frustrating. So I get frustrated more than rage.
So what do these women feel? What is
perimenopausal rage? Well, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's an irrational rage because I don't want to gaslight anybody. And I hate it when, you know, the implication that, so I will swear blind, this isn't true. So I'm just hoping that neither of my ex-husbands nor my partner is ever going to listen to this. And I'm going, because I will not admit to this in a court of law. But in pregnancy, I was a nutter. Okay, I was not normal, but it was all their fault. But they were horrible, both of them in pregnancy. They were so unsupportive, so unsupportive and mean, and just left me to it on my own. But I had preeclampsia. I was really miserable. I had no family support because I was in a foreign country, and they were just mean and horrible and nasty. But
that's something else.
It's a whole other podcast or topic. But I wasn't very stable in pregnancy because I was really ill. And as I said, I had no support. And I used to get really kind of fractious and it's a hormonal rage. And that's the thing. So it's kind of similar in many ways because you feel like it almost spreads up through you from your toes.
Okay. The rage.
Right. So it kind of whooshes up.
Okay.
Are you with me? So... Okay, this is kind of like topics you don't want to discuss with your mum. You know, like when you have an orgasm.
Okay. And... I was just thinking, I'm an adult, it's fine. And then I heard that, okay.
But you know, like when your hormone, it comes through your body and up and out. But hey, we're women, right? And So anything hormonal kind of comes up through and out.
Okay.
So rage is a bit like that. It doesn't just come from one place. You don't just get it in your head and out.
Okay.
It kind of comes up through and out. So for example, when I get frustrated or I get angry, my chest goes red, and that's how you know I'm losing my shit, because I or I'm frustrated because this will go red, and you'll
So
know
is that from the toes up, it's gone up there.
Maybe not from my toes, but I've kind of gone hot and out. So it's not a sudden thing. It's not a little thing. It really hits you. Perimenopause rage.
But you know, when people, I've been told this a lot in my life. You're a very 0 to 100 person. Isn't that what rage is, though? You go 0 to 100.
It is. But in perimenopause, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's uncontrollable, but it is really overwhelming.
Okay.
And it's not something that's trying to, again, I don't want to make it seem trivial, but I don't also want to make it seem like we're all mad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's really hormonally based, and it's based on a lot of different symptoms. If I start describing to you where it comes from, it might be easier, because then you'll understand there's so many factors to it. So obviously the first one is hormonal, right? We've got this, as I always say every episode, we've got this estrogen and progesterone imbalance. Okay, hormones are crucial to regulate your mood. We've got estrogen that's leaving our body in this kind of wiggly line. We've got progesterone that's leaving in a straight line. They're never in the same balance all the way through. This fluctuates, and it does lead to irritability, it does lead to anxiety, and it does lead to mood swings. There's nothing we can do about those. And you don't wake up as the same woman every day.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Any day, not
any
even
day.
Perimenopause, yeah.
But in perimenopause, you gaslight yourself. You wake up and you're like, who am I today? Oh, I'm a different human than I was yesterday. La 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 la. But
is that sad? Like, do you feel sad?
Honestly, yes. And I can't say again, I feel like a bit of an arsehole when I say, well, I'm okay. But I'm so used to it that I know so much about myself, having done so much work on myself for what I do for a living. But it's taken me a lot of years to get here, and a lot of work and a lot of reflection. And there's still days when I just think, I just wish it were easier. And then I have to have a long talk with myself, like, come on, Grosvenor, don't wish it was easier, wish that you were better. And I kind of have to have that conversation with myself. No, you just need to put on your big girl pants and off we go. And I have to do that whole kind of like, you're a big, strong woman and you can do this. But it's sometimes you just think, oh, stop it. I just today could be easier. And you feel like you want to say to yourself, I should be better than this. I should have an easier time than this. I should I should be okay just to wake up in the morning, and it should be a normal day, and it's never a normal day.
Should as in like the universe.
I should as in
the universe should bring this.
Yeah, or it's not fair. You kind of want to shout, it's not fair, universe, give me an easier ride. And when all those days stack on top of each other, it gets so frustrating that one more day you wake up and it's crap again. That's where the rage can come from. It's like, oh, fuck off now.
Yeah, with the lack of everything else.
with just like, I've had another bad night's sleep, and I've woken up with something like a frozen shoulder, or I've had night sweats again. By the way, Pampoo Pajamas girl, keep telling you, I've had night sweats again, or I've woken up with a headache again, or a headache cluster again,
and you already suffer with insomnia.
Yeah, and it's enough, and then something goes wrong in the morning.
Yeah.
And you're just like, so let's say, for example, you've had night sweats, you've had an interrupted sleep, you've woken up with a headache cluster, your shoulder hurts in the morning, and then the flat tire happens. And are you with me? Yeah, and it's just like that just instantaneous, oh, right, then just enough.
Yeah.
Piss off. And it's just too much. So, and then testosterone as well. So I know testosterone, we've had this conversation back, I don't know, episode 3, 4, about 3. See, check me out. When we talked about testosterone, but not having enough testosterone as well can also lead to irritability. So you've got sleep disruptions because it's night sweats, it's hot flushes. You've got insomnia, which can cause all the hormonal problems, And if you don't get enough deep sleep, so we're talking about the deeper sleep stages.
You've talked to me about this before.
Yeah. If you don't get enough deep sleep, then you're not going to regulate your hormones. You're not going to have that feeling rested, because sleep stages 2, where you do your REM sleep, your rapid eye movement sleep, is where you do your kind of executive functions. You do all your admin, so your brain goes through your.
Get rid of some admin.
Yeah, it sorts stuff out. It files things that it needs to file, and you do all your dreaming and stuff, and that's great. But if you don't get your deep sleep, you don't get your hormone regulation, you don't get your immunity boosters, you don't get your beauty sleep, all that stuff, and you need that to feel rested. And if you don't feel rested, you're going to get irritable, standard. Your stress response is buggered up as well. Sorry, I'm a bit sweary today. I do apologise.
It's the rage.
It's the rage. We're talking about the rage. Cortisol levels. So chronic stress during perimenopause can elevate cortisol levels, which lead to, guess what? Heightened anxiety and irritability. But again, obviously, and life stresses. So perimenopause often coincides with significant life changes. Children leaving home.
Is that that
empty nest, right? You start looking after your aging parents, who are a pain in the arse. They don't retire, but a lot of women start to wind down their careers, or they feel like they're coming to the end of a career, or they feel like because their kids have left home, they might be going to a career transition. So for me, for example, I'm starting to think, I can maybe travel more, or I could change. I don't want to change jobs. I've got the best job in the world, but I could maybe, I've always wanted to do a TV show, for example.
Who thinks that Kate would be amazing on a TV show? I think we all do.
Do you?
Well, do you want to host a TV show?
I'd love to host a TV show.
Okay.
So I'd love to host a TV show, like during the daytime, like a TV talk show, where we could actually have a real conversation about women's issues.
So like Loose Women?
More like Oprah Winfrey, more like, do you know, like actually have guests on. Yeah.
Like Drew Barrymore, what she's doing now.
There
she doesn't just have women, but like I get the vibe.
But that kind of thing.
Because we need to make it happen, people.
We do. But, that kind of thing, I'd love to do that, because we used to have them back in the day, and we don't really have them anymore. And I'd love to do that. But I've always said, well, not when the kids are at home, because I'd have to, school runs and stuff.
It's not going to be where we live either, I don't think.
No, it's not in Yorkshire. No. Although they do have a big one in Manchester.
I was going to say, maybe there.
Or Leeds.
We're bigger than Leeds, though. Sheffield's bigger than Leeds.
We don't live in Sheffield. Anywho.
In my head, I live in Sheffield.
Go ahead to bit.
Don't get me angry.
Don't make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry. Right.
Sorry, who's that?
The Hulk, isn't it?
I don't know. That sounded really familiar.
I think it's the Hulk.
We'll Google it.
Okay. So you can be looking after aging parents, leaving home, career transitions, and all of that stress contributes to rage. Okay. So it's all this kind of stuff going on. And then you've got psychological factors like identity and body issues. So your body changes in perimenopause.
Yeah.
And most women aren't at ease with it. So we've talked before about there's a secondary source of estrogen that you can get. So when your ovaries start winding down their production of estrogen from the ovaries, there's a secondary source of estrogen that's not as good, but your body tries to make it work, tries its best, little trooper, which is around your fat cells around your tummy. Okay. So you tend to put on a little bit of extra weight around your tummy area, and that's because your body's trying to produce your fat cells, get estrogen out of it.
Isn't that the same when you're younger? So before you have babies? I heard something about that before, when women need a little bit extra fat anyways around their stomach to do with babies, when you can have babies or something.
That's just an Egyptian word tale.
No. Like childbearing hips kind of phrase.
Yeah. No.
Wife's tale.
Yeah. So that's just like, I just know where you got these stories from, and I know exactly who you got these stories from.
A few women.
Yeah.
Older women.
When they're trying to persuade you that Anyway, so you tend to gain weight in different areas. Weight's more difficult to move. It's much more difficult to lose weight. It's doable, but it tends to look at cortisol issues and stress levels, and it's a very different type of weight if you want to maintain or lose weight in perimenopause.
Your stress levels?
Your stress levels are really... So in perimenopause, one of the biggest issues is stress levels. And if you want to lose weight, you have to look after your gut and you have to look after your stress levels. if you're very stressed, your cortisol will just not allow you to lose weight.
I didn't know that.
Yes, and you can become insulin resistant as well in perimenopause, which means it's another podcast basically. So your frustration with your physical appearance because your hair is getting maybe thinner, collagen, your skin is getting, can start. You've lost the collagen in your skin, so this is why. And I know I bang on about collagen and supplements a lot, but it does really, really help. But because your skin can be maturing at a much more rapid rate, your hair can be looking thinner, you can be gaining weight. So all of these things combined can lead you to be feeling really frustrated and kind of angry about your appearance, like you don't feel or look like yourself.
I've seen a few comments like that, yeah.
But you don't feel like you look in the mirror and you don't recognize you. And that's really traumatizing. Yeah, it's like, who's this woman?
Yeah.
Like,
that sucks.
Yeah, can you imagine? Like, you look in the mirror and it's like, who's that old woman? She's not me. Because it can happen.
Yeah. You suddenly feel it. Is it not gradual?
Well, it is gradual, but you catch a glimpse of yourself and it's like...
Yeah. I see a lot of these women saying, I just want to feel like me again. I want to remember who me is. Yeah. And it's like,
I know, it's sad, right? And then if you've had like if you've got a history of maybe adverse mental health, so you've got a history of depression or anxiety or some kind of trauma history.
Yeah.
A lot of women find that these conditions get worse during perimenopause because obviously the hormonal changes and everything else get worse, and the loneliness gets worse, and the feelings of isolation get worse. So a lot of women will find that kind of thing becomes exacerbated during perimenopause. So again, this triggers more rage because you feel like your mental health's not in a good place. And to add to that, women do all the emotional labor in families. So you've got all this going on, and then you bear the cumulative stress of your teenage kids, your aging parents, your female friends who are unloading on you. Everybody that has other problems are kind of loading onto you at the same time, and you're already drowning still.
Why is that a thing? Where it's like mothers are just the problem solvers of the family. You go to the mum.
Who's it going to be?
Come on, dads.
Step up. I mean, right? But it's historic because the kids want someone to solve, men try and solve problems.
By throwing solutions.
Yeah, but how many times do you come to me because you want me to solve your problem? You just want to unload and you want to talk and you want me to listen and you want me to go, I'm really sorry that she said that. And how dare she?
Exactly.
You don't want me to go,
yes.
You don't want me to go, well, you should dump her as a friend. And you're like, mate, I've known this woman all my life. I don't dump her as a friend. That's not the solution. You want me to go, she did not.
No.
Are you with me? You want me to just join in and say that's not nice?
And the men that do that are angels.
And they're gay.
Yeah. So true.
They're your gay friends. They're not your straight friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know exactly. It's
the straight friends. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, other things in mind.
Yes. Also, don't forget that your serotonin and your dopamine are affected by perimenopause. So because your gut is badly affected, most of your serotonin, again, is produced in your gut. So your serotonin is your feel-good hormone, neurotransmitter. 90% of your serotonin is produced in your gut. You have issues with your gut if you don't look after your gut. This is why I always say look after your gut in perimenopause. If you're not looking after your gut, you are not getting enough serotonin. Serotonin is the thing that makes you feel calm.
So really looking after yourself is really...
Your stress and your gut.
Everything.
Yes, it's the be-all and end-all. Okay, so if you don't look after your dopamine, you don't look after your serotonin, your fluctuations in your just everyday life are going to lead to feelings of anger, irritability. What's regulating your mood? GABA as well is another neurotransmitter, and it can also be affected in perimenopause, and you'll also feel more anxious, and you'll also lead to more stress. And I was saying about the frozen shoulder, which is absolute agony. I'm not going to lie, I'm sitting here going, ow. But aches and pains, so joint pain, muscle stiffness, other physical discomforts that accompany perimenopause can really lead to frustration and irritability. I've been so pissed off all day from the shoulder because I'm trying to type, I'm trying to write. And every few minutes I'm standing up and I'm just like, oh, that's really annoying.
Yeah. So how do women get their daily dopamine rush, and how do you get through all of this?
So dopamine is success, getting things done. So journaling is really, really good. Yeah. Having a to-do list, I call it ta-da list, because then you can tick it off and go ta-da. Nice. But I don't like being told what to do.
But you can tell yourself what to do.
No, but I don't like being told what to do. Because I mean, from having been in a very controlling marriage,
and you were a headmistress, like, let's not even.
So being told what to do is just not on my to-do list.
Even yourself.
Yes. So I like to have a to-do list because then I can tick it off and go ta-da.
That's cute.
I thought so. So just having a list that you can tick off, because every time you tick it off, you get a hit of dopamine. Ding, ding, ding. So that works really, really well. Waking up, if you wake up in the morning and you gratitude journal, you're going to get that straight away, that hit of dopamine, that hit of just like, I'm succeeding at life. If you wake up in the morning and you started with a bit of exercise, a bit of yoga and journaling, I used to laugh and just find it very, very funny with these like hippy dippy chicks that were like hugging trees, and they were so right. The whole kind of wake up in the morning, have a glass of water, do some yoga, gratitude journaling. I was like, go hug a tree. Yeah. And they're absolutely nailed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely nailed it. Because if you get a release of endorphins and dopamine and all the kind of beautiful neurotransmitters in the morning, you set yourself up. It's actually like an intoxicating mix of neurotransmitters in the morning. You set yourself up. You don't need caffeine in the morning. You don't need caffeine for the first like hour and a half of your day, because actually the stress hormone, which we know is cortisol, it's actually your wide awake hormone, and it's actually really good for you to have in the morning because it keeps you wide awake.
And how does caffeine affect that?
Well, cortisol keeps you awake. It wakes you up, right? That's all you need for the first hour and a half of your day. You don't actually need tea or coffee because the cortisol wakes you up. So if you want coffee, you should only have limited amounts of coffee a day. So you could have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee an hour and a half after you wake up, because you're actually wasting your caffeine.
It's just the craving for caffeine.
But it's actually a mental habit. It's not a physical habit. No. So you shouldn't have too many cups of tea or coffee, especially in perimenopause, because caffeine is a stimulant. And we're talking about rage. If you're overstimulated, you're going to make rage feel a lot worse. So if you're going to have, I have 1 cup of coffee. So I don't, if you notice, I'll bring it to the studio, because if I drink it first thing in the morning, I'm wasting the coffee, because my cortisol's doing the job for me, so it's waking me up for the first hour and a half. So I have the coffee an hour and a half after I wake up in the studio, rather than having the coffee first thing when I wake up.
Do you know what helps me with my rage, actually? This is something that you gave me and I love it, is I do the journaling, but I love the affirmation cards more. They just, it's almost like I don't fake anything, but it's like, do you know, when I wake up in the morning and I read it, my brain convinces me that I needed to hear that today. Not necessarily, I didn't need to hear it, but it just changes my whole attitude on the day. And it's like, yes, I am strong, I am good,
but that's what affirmations are for. Affirmations are there to give you that positive statement. So if you wake up in the morning and you're like, I'm not enough for this day, because we all wake up feeling some kind of way, right? That shit FM just starts in the morning, and it tells you, because women are hilarious in that we'll go to sleep already thinking, I'm not going to get enough sleep for tomorrow.
If I go to sleep now, I'll only have 7 hours.
Even if I'm asleep now, I don't have enough sleep for tomorrow, so I'm going to be tired tomorrow before we've even gone to sleep.
So I'm going to worry about something that hasn't happened yet.
I'm going to worry about. I'm going to worry from now about how much sleep I'm not going to have. So I'm going to be tired for tomorrow. Already. I've not slept yet, but I'm going to have a really bad day tomorrow. Okay, which of course is not very, it doesn't really induce a good night's sleep. So then we wake up and we're already stressed because we haven't slept enough, and we knew that before we went to sleep. Not that we've turned Netflix off to go to sleep, but anyway. So we wake up and we're like, I'm really tired. I haven't had enough sleep, and I'm really tired.
And I knew I wouldn't.
But I didn't turn Netflix off, but that's another story. But I'm already stressed and I'm tired, and I can't cope with today. Today's going to be too much for me, and I'm really stressed about today. And I can't do today because it's just going to beat me. And it's just going to be a really, really horrible day. I can't get everything done, and it's just going to be awful.
But we'll see with the affirmations.
But with the affirmations, you flip it. So instead of saying, I don't have enough energy today, you say, I have more energy. I have more than enough energy for today. Instead of saying, I'm not enough for today, you go, I'm more than enough for today. and you just flip them around, and your brain's thick. Not your brain, everybody's brain. Your brain will believe whatever you tell it it's true.
Yeah.
So if you say, I'm tired, your brain will go, oh God, you're so tired. Poor you. And then what happens when you tell your brain you're tired? Your brain will give you a reason to make bad food choices. So you go downstairs, right? So you say, I'm really tired. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm so stressed. I'm so tired. You'll go downstairs and you go, I'm so tired. I deserve a croissant.
Damn right.
And I'm going to have chocolate with my croissant because I'm so tired. I need sugar. So you go downstairs, you make a big mug of coffee because you're so tired, you need coffee, right? And you're furious face and I'm so tired. And so you have a big cup of coffee because you're so tired, you need the caffeine. And then because you're so tired, you need sugar because you're so tired. Yeah. So you've already ignored the cortisol that's keeping you awake. And then you have croissant on chocolate. So you have this sugar carb rush. So you've spiked your caffeine, which is a stimulant. You've spiked your sugar and your carb, which are both going to hit your insulin. So you're going to have a caffeine crash, a sugar crash in about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then you're going to be really low and really frustrated and just feel exhausted.
And you'll convince your brain as well.
Yeah, because you've convinced your brain. Yeah. So then what happens is you're going to need to have another sugar spike and more caffeine to pick you back up again in about 2 hours because you're going to be absolutely on your knees exhausted. So then you do it again and you'll go crash, boom, crash, boom, crash, boom all the way throughout the day. However, if you'd have said to yourself, I've got more than enough energy for today. Today's going to be a great day. You're in exactly the same place, but you go, today's going to be great. And bearing in mind, really that you're in exactly the same place.
Yeah.
I've got more than enough energy today. Today's going to be great. And you go and you get your Greek yogurt and you get your overnight oats and you get your blueberries and you put your collagen in and you pack your tea into your bag and you drink your water. And you have this balanced meal with protein and collagen and blueberries and stuff. And you eat it, and your blood sugar stays stable, you're off to a good start. So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But it's just because you've said today's going to be a great day, your brain just makes a sensible choice.
The mind is very powerful.
It's a very powerful thing. Anyway, I digress, probably by about an hour. Yeah. So
this was helpful.
Yeah. But so digestive issues as well can make you feel really angry. So if you ever tried to feel really happy when you're really bloated and gassy.
I mean, I get bloated every day, so it's a bit.
But you know when you're and then laugh.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen, is it?
No.
Other things that can make you feel really angry when people make jokes about your age or stigma about menopause or jokes about you being in menopause, or someone goes, "Oh, having a hot flash."
And it's on television. People make these jokes.
Yeah, they think it's really, really funny,
and they are usually men.
Or younger women, sorry. But yeah. And
it's not funny, guys.
No, it's not funny, but there's a lot of stigma around menopause and
they use the word menopause.
It's not perimenopause.
They don't get it.
Nope. Yeah.
I mean, I only got it when we started doing this, but still, it's not menopause.
But there's a lot of stigma around it. It's kind of almost like, oh, you're having hot flash. So it makes you feel very isolated and it makes you feel like you're the butt of a joke. And it's not nice.
Stop it, guys.
Yeah, stop it. It's not nice. But it's also the thing about that you're perceived to be failing if you're not coping.
Yeah.
It's that you're somehow failing or you're somehow letting people down. And that in itself can cause internalized anger because you're supposed to reach a certain age where you're calm, you're collected, you're wise, you're whatever. And then this feeling of I'm supposed to be in control. You're supposed to be nurturing. You've had kids. You're supposed to be Mother Earth. Oh, yeah. And then you feel really frustrated and you're like, it's that internal judgment that we can get into. And how many minutes are we on? Have I gone over? Yep. Have I? Yep. Have I really?
33 minutes.
Oh no. I'm so sorry. Quickly, I haven't even got onto what you can do about it. Oh dear. Other things that can cause it is things like nutritional deficiencies. So be really, really careful of your magnesium and vitamin D can cause it. And just be really aware of just your mindset in general and just make sure that you're reflective of your own mindset and your own personal space and making sure that people aren't taking advantage of you. I'd say is the best idea.
Yeah.
I can't believe I went over again.
This was a really good one, though. I've enjoyed talking about this. It's helped me. It's educated me a little bit.
Good. I hope so. I feel like I
hope same for you.
Good. I feel like I need to do another one on what you can do as well. I go on too much. I know this. It's just such a big. Somebody said to me the other day, "How are you going to keep on talking about perimenopause?" I'm like,
117 symptoms, mate.
Honestly, it's
so
like
much.
Not even. All right, my lovelies. I hope that's helped. Do keep sending us your questions. We are more than happy to help you. If you have any questions, you know where to go. Don't forget, you can contact us in our Facebook group or on WhatsApp. Take care, and as always, we wish you an absolutely beautiful week, and we will speak to you soon, my darlings. Bye.